I like to say that a man is the closest thing to God. No matter what's going on, we have to rise consistently every day, and we have to provide consistently every day. We have to serve consistently every day.
He has to have a code. He has to have certain things he's going to say and do, and he means it. You know, when I was coming up, if a man said something, that was his word was bond.
For some guys, they're invisible to women. In order for them to stop complaining, they just really have to step up their game, meaning they have to step up their strategy. They have to become a more attractive guy. So the reason why so many guys are sexless is because they don't have any game.
Weak men need to be purged. And what I mean by that is that there was a time where only the strongest men had valuable things.
Anybody that's been out here in the last 10 years, it's easier to get sex than it is to make $100. Basically put yourself in a position and they throwing it to you. So I think, again, weak men have risen up and they have a voice and they spew their shit onto other weak men and they fall for it, and it's this whole victimhood thing.
I say, okay, put your arm out. They put their arm out. I say, grab your arm. You can grab your arm.
When I think of a man in my head, he takes responsibility with a purpose. And this responsibility gives him struggle, and through that struggle, he gets strength, and through that strength, he creates structure.
Smack your arm. You can smack your arm. Pinch your arm. Okay, you're real. Go fucking knock on Fear's door and grab his arm.
Whatever he wants out of life, whatever he desires out of life, whatever steps he wants to take to secure what he requires, I think he should be true to that first and foremost.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
See, the emotional male will always use emotions to make excuses for the fact he ain't shit.
You gotta be ready to go the distance behind what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to die about some shit.
Still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the women you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com. It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I want to tell you about my documentary, Game Kings, The Definition of Game, starring myself, the Boss Mac Topsoil, Rosebud, Ron Wills, Miles Cunningham, and much more. In this documentary, you're going to learn about confidence, manhood, attracting women, and the definition of the game. To get this documentary, go to MrLocario.com.
Some people think you need a sports car to get what you want. Some people think you need $1 million. Some people think you need looks, status. The only thing you need is what they can't get unless they come straight to you. And that's your identity. Join the Masculine Identity membership today. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Masculine Identity Soap. This luxurious, quality, high lather, high moisturizing, all natural bar soap has been handcrafted with care and consistency to provide a quality cleansing experience for self-care, focus, and productivity. Specially formulated for cold showers. Stay clean, gentlemen. Masculine Identity Soap.
Click the links below to get private one-on-one coaching sessions with Mr. Locario or Miles Cunningham to step up your game. These coaching sessions are designed to help you with your specific needs in the dating game. So make sure you click the links below right now so that you can step up your game today.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy, Miles Cunningham. Shout out to Locario. He will not be joining us today. He's taking care of some business, handling some things. And so we just going to pop off Media Mondays, you know, with Miles Cunningham, man. You already know what it is. Phone lines are open. Oh, I don't even got the damn banners up, but the phone lines are open, man. Let me see if I could get these banners up. And put the joint up. Hold on one second, man. All right, we can do that one right there. So yeah, if y'all want to call in, you know, you already know what it is. The @Miles in the game, in the Cash App. Send the joint to the Cash App, and then we can answer your questions. Or we can just put this one up. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. The one on the bottom. Donate, then call in 919-647-9392. Miles in the game. Let me see something. Hold on. Can I edit this shit? Because this one don't work no more. Give me a second, guys. Because y'all know I don't usually do this. All right, so let's get this one popping. Boom. All right, so donate, then call in. They go to number 919-647-9392 @Miles in the game on Cash App. @Miles in the game on Cash App. Let me actually put that in there too. Cash App. All right, so we got 267. You're on live with Miles Cunningham on Media Mondays. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Yeah, it's Dave G. We can't see you on the screen. I'm at the gym working out, but we can't see you on the screen. I was just letting you know.
Oh, shit, you can't see me in the stream. All right, appreciate it, though. Appreciate it.
All right, no doubt.
Why can't you see me in the stream? That's crazy. Can't see you. Screen not showing. Why? I could see me. Can y'all hear me? Though? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Because I don't understand why you would see me. I mean, why you would hear me but not see me. So I'm just checking. Let me know if y'all can hear me. So y'all can hear me, but you cannot see me. I don't understand why. That's crazy. And then add to the stage. Let me see. Let me check my channel. Hold on. Technical difficulties, guys. Give me a second. We're gonna get this thing right. Give me 1 second, man. Let me 1 second. Let me see. Hold on. Let me 1 second. 1 second, man. See. What? Hold on. Let me 1 second. My camera's working. I can see myself on the StreamYard. That's crazy. Add to stage. I saw myself for like 2 seconds though. Did anybody see me for 2 seconds? Add to stage. For like 2 seconds though. Okay, I'm on. I think I'm on. Are we on? Oh shit, we on, nigga. Yo, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because Lucario be doing it from his side mostly. So me doing it, maybe there was some type of glitch. I have no idea. But the fact is, we here now, nigga. We here now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. That's what's up. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful that we could see now. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, man. So we got the Miles in the game on Cash App. So make sure y'all send the support there, and then call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. Good to see y'all, man. It's Media Mondays. Remember, send the 50. If y'all want to promote your music or business or your acting chops, shout out to Jarrell. And of course, guys, make sure, Media Mondays, as always, is brought to you by the critically acclaimed book, How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day, by the bad boy of the dating game, Mr. Lucario. All right. Mr. Lucario, he wrote a great book. Damn near 12 years ago now. This shit is a classic. So make sure you get that. Go to shoplucario.com where you could get the ebook or the audiobook. Of course, another Media Monday alumni is Shia Muhammad. He got his dope ass book right here, The Cuckoo Vegan. So make sure y'all go to Amazon and check that out, man. Make sure y'all go to Amazon and check that out. Shout out to Shia Muhammad, The Cuckoo Vegan, man. He got the dope ass book here. And someone else who supports the channel. We got Julius R. Bello, The Secret Life of a Handicapped Boy, man. My man over here got cerebral palsy and he be killing shit anyway. So make sure you holler at him. Go to Amazon and go get the book. Go check it out. We haven't had a lot of music in the last couple of shows. So I don't know, man. If y'all want to, let's get some music popping. Shout out to King Dow. He's still been coming through with music. King Dow been on his Grizzly for real. Let me see. We also got Silverback Seduction candles, man. Make sure you guys check that out. We got the leather and lace right here. Go to Mr1950.com and support that, man. Get your candles popping. Get the ambiance in the crib when you bring the chicks over. You understand? And today's topic, guys, call in anytime, call in anytime. But today's topic is 5 reasons why you got to be arrogant with these chicks, man. 5 reasons why you have to be arrogant with these chicks. Okay, listen, man, when you're dealing with women, you have to be arrogant. You have and what I really mean is that it's not just about arrogance per se. Arrogance was the word that I just decided to use. But what I'm also saying is that you have to be brave and audacious, right? Meaning that you have to take the first step. Right. Just like how we got to be the ones to approach. There's a certain audacity. There's a certain arrogance. There's a certain level of confidence that goes beyond the normal level, because think about it like this. Right. You have different levels of how you approach anything. Right. You have passive, you have aggressive, and you have assertive. Right. And the thing with dealing with females, a lot of times, the balanced, assertive, like the right on point, hitting the target is not good enough with chicks. Sometimes you got to go a little bit overboard, just a little bit, to let them know you serious and to let them know who's in charge. Right. So you have to be a little bit more audacious, and instead of being assertive, you got to be a little bit more on the aggressive side, and you definitely can't be on the passive side. Right. And the reason why we need to understand this as men is because a lot of guys, they've been fooled into thinking that being a man is a bad thing. They've been fooled into thinking that, with the idea of patriarchy and all this other stuff, where it's like, if I'm explaining something to a woman, then that means I'm mansplaining, and mansplaining is bad, and men are evil, and the patriarchy, we subvert women and we oppress them, and so on and so forth. But listen, when you truly understand your masculine identity, when you truly understand the value that your masculine presence brings to a woman, you realize that in a lot of cases, and no disrespect to women, but in a lot of cases, you have to think for them. You understand? You have to That's why a lot of times when in a lot of these conversations, we end up comparing women to children to a certain extent. And it's not to denigrate women, but a lot of times as a man, you think differently. You think strategically. You think a couple of steps ahead based on logistics and what's about to happen. You understand? And so, for example, like, me personally, I've been in long-term relationships and I get to know a woman's rhythm, right? And so when we're out and let's just say it's a day where we're doing multiple things. There's a point in the general sequence of activities where I have to tell the woman that I'm with, a grown ass woman, that she should go use the bathroom. Like, I have to tell her, like, no, go use the bathroom. But I don't feel like I gotta go. Listen, go use the bathroom. And it's the same conversation as if you was talking to a fucking 8-year-old. Like, okay, we're about to leave. Make sure you use the bathroom. Yeah, but Daddy, I don't feel like going. No. Go use the bathroom. Trust me. Go in the bathroom and make something come out, right? Because we're about to get on the road. I know we're about to be on the road for an hour, for 2 hours. I'm as a man, I'm thinking, we about to drive on a certain highway, and this strip of highway, I've been on it before, and I know that most of the gas stations and the truck stops have nasty bathrooms. I know that. Right? Because as a man, I could piss in any bathroom and it doesn't matter. But I don't want my woman pissing in a certain bathroom. So I'm telling her now, use the bathroom here because I know it's clean. I know it's safe. I know it's secure. And I'm thinking ahead. But me being adamant about her using the bathroom, I have to come off a little arrogant. I have to come off a little bit beyond assertive, but a little bit more aggressive. I have to make sure she uses the bathroom. And I don't have time to explain to you about the dirty truck stop bathrooms and all this other shit. I don't have time to explain all that shit to you. Just go use the bathroom because I said so. You understand? And that comes off a little bit arrogant, but ultimately what we're doing, we're telling the woman what we're telling her, not to just be arrogant, not to control her, not to be forceful or oppressive, but because we know that is what's best because of the love and the care that we have for her. Right. And because as men, we're thinking ahead, we're thinking with protection, we're thinking with responsibility, we're thinking about logistics. You understand? And on top of that, I know my woman better than she knows herself. I know that all you need to do is look at a bottle of water and your ass need to piss. Soon as we get on the road, oh, babe, could we stop at a McDonald's or something? And I know we got to get to the next place within a certain amount of time. And now we got to stop if you had just listened to me. You understand? So what the average man is going to do, in his mind, he going to know that his woman needs to use the restroom, but he's not going to say nothing because he's like, well, I don't want to be a forceful, arrogant man. I don't want to force my woman to do anything. And he's not going to say anything. But a guy like me, on the other hand, I'm going to look my woman dead in the face and be like, yeah, go over there and go use the bathroom. Yeah. Whatever, go. You understand? I'm going to have that arrogance about me. I'm going to have that slight aggressiveness about me. I'm going to have that little bit of audaciousness. I'm going to have that boldness to make her, go to the bathroom because I know that that's what's best. You understand? And then and she'll use the restroom and then we'll go about the rest of the day, and the rest of the day will be smooth as fuck. Why? Because I put things in place to make it so. And it's the type of thing where your girl is not going to come back to you and even say to you, oh, my God, babe, thanks for making me go to the bathroom because everything else in the rest of the day was so smooth. She's not going to thank you. But it's up to you, the man, to have that prestige, that arrogance, that audaciousness, that boldness, to that assertiveness, that aggressiveness, to tell your woman exactly what it is, because you're a man and you thought about things that she don't think about. And in the same way, a woman thinks about things that a man don't think about. But because we are the ones that are responsible for security, we're responsible for order, we're responsible for protection, right? We are responsible for those things. We have to think about, those are the type of things that we have to think about, right? We have to think about the logistics. So that's just an example of, why as men we got to be audacious. But I have 5 reasons here that we'll go through in no order of importance. And guys, remember, you could call in if you want. We could chop it up. If y'all got a question, put a Q in the chat and we'll get to some questions. And what else? Yeah, you could call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. And it's just me here. So if I don't see any motion, if I don't see any questions, if nobody calls in, we could wrap it up early. That's no problem. All right. But appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, if you want to call in, go ahead and call in. But the first reason we got as to why you need to be arrogant when you're dealing with women, right, is that women are attracted to strength. Women are attracted to strength. What does that mean? They say opposites attract, right? So that means if you're looking for a woman to submit, then you have to be something to submit to. You understand? The plug has to fit in the socket. You see what I'm saying? The plug has to fit in the socket. So if you want somebody to be submissive, then you got to be dominant, right? You got to be influential. You have to have strength, courage, boldness, prestige. Like I'm sure a few of you guys been out, if you were talking to women, meeting women, and you might have said something and they look at you and they say, damn, you're bold, right? I want you to know that, there are different levels and there's different reasons why they say that shit. Like, oh, you kind of bold, ain't you? You have to understand that a woman responds to boldness. That's why she says that. Now, just because she responded to boldness or to your boldness doesn't mean she likes you. But the fact that she made mention of your boldness is telling you that the woman responds to boldness. OK, so we have to understand why these things are important. We have to understand what we're dealing with when we're out in the street dealing with women. And shout out to Lucario because he has a program on the Bad Boy membership. Make sure you go to badboymembership.com called How to Recognize Patterns. You understand? How to recognize patterns. And it's very important. This is why we talk about 25 women a day, approaching multiple women, playing the numbers game and going through these things. Again, not because of the women, but because we as men need to recognize things. We as men need to grow and develop into the type of man that can deal with all the things that come with dealing with women. You get what I'm saying? So when you're out there, you're talking to women and you say something bold, you walk over to her, you tell her how sexy she is and how you could see her butt naked in your bedroom or butt naked in your living room, bent over the couch. And then she says some shit like, damn, you're bold, aren't you? Right. The thing is that she's responding to your boldness because women respond to boldness. Women respond to the man that has the audacity to approach, the audacity to tell her what's on his mind, the arrogance, right? The confidence, the boldness to say the things that he wants to say. That's the difference between you and most other gentlemen. So here's the thing, though. When the two things coincide, meaning that she finds you attractive and she's responding to your boldness, then you in there like swimwear. You get what I'm saying? But you have to give yourself the chance to exhibit that. You have to give yourself the chance to exhibit your masculine identity and, in addition, the boldness of your masculine identity, because women are attracted to boldness. You understand? They're attracted to strength. They're seeking leadership. They're seeking something to submit to. Now, every woman that you meet may not like you in particular, might not be interested in you in particular, which is why we play the numbers game. But with that being said, we're better off being bold than being timid. We're better off being arrogant than being humble and meek. I got to drink some damn water. I just finished working out and fuck around and catch another cramp on YouTube Live. I don't want to do that shit. Okay. So women respond to boldness. Okay. This is why we have to be bold. If you really want to catch a woman's attention, that's what it is. It's the strength of your boldness, right? They call it the PUAs used to call it peacocking, like wearing a certain type of clothing that stand out, right? That a lot of the stuff that stand out, most of the things that stand out require confidence, require boldness. It takes a certain bit of courage to actually be yourself these days, right? Because the average person is trying to fit in. You see what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of strength to be bold. Yeah, Phil said that's vodka, not water. Nah, that shit is water, bro. William Kahn said, I literally just told someone that yelled at me for talking to a 22-year-old that I don't really feel like there's much difference between talking to an 18-year-old or a 48-year-old. Hey, look, do you, brother? William Kahn, you already know. Do you? As long as you're not hurting nobody or breaking the law, do you? Fuck what them motherfuckers talking about. You ain't got to worry about nothing. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, as long as you ain't breaking the law, you good. People always gonna give their opinion, and see this in itself too is another reason. We'll just call this number 2. This is another reason why you have to be arrogant, right? Because a lot of people are going to try to come at you and give you their fucking opinion to try to influence or sway the decisions you make for yourself. You understand? A lot of people are going to come at you, and people come at you in different ways, right? They'll come at you verbally, or, people at your job, or if you're out somewhere. Now you have to understand that when there's different levels to it, but especially when you're already in a relationship, or maybe you're out with a woman, right? A woman needs to know that you can stand strong like the mountain. Right. And I use the mountain as the analogy where, they talk about the mountain stays right there. The weather changes around the mountain. It could be snowing, it could be raining, it could be sunny, it could be, whatever. It could be nighttime, daytime, the mountain sits right there and don't move and damn near don't change. You understand? Everything else could be whatever it is, but you have to stay steady like the mountain, because that is what the woman can submit to. If you're flexible, if every time somebody comes at you and shares their opinion and says, oh, well, I don't think you should be doing that. And Miles, I don't think you should be wearing glasses inside. And Miles, I don't know. I don't like that shirt with the American flag. It makes you look like you're a Trump supporter. So I don't think you should wear that on your YouTube live. Yeah, and then every fucking time somebody tell me another opinion, I got to change my shirt. I got to take off my glasses. Then who the fuck am I? Who am I? If every time somebody gives me an opinion, I go and try to change for that next person, who the fuck am I then? And see, when you're dealing with a woman, when you're meeting a woman, when you're in a relationship, when you got a wife, you got a girlfriend, whatever you got, even your daughter, your children, they need to know that you are that man. That is your masculine identity. You are that man. That is who you are. That is the only way to build trust. That is the only way to gain submission from a woman or anybody in your life, right? Because in different ways, people submit to you, right? Because they have to trust you to make, if the decisions that you make influence their life, to some extent, they have to trust you. So that means they have to submit to you to allow your decision to have whatever effect it's going to have on their life. Now, if they believe in your vision and they believe that your decision making brings them positive results, then that is them trusting and submitting to you and allowing you to make those decisions. You understand? So again, it's not just about women. It's about so many other things: your legacy, your masculine identity, your leadership of a family, right? Your leadership in a group of friends. There are a few of us, I'm sure that there's a lot of guys that follow this content, and you are always looked upon in your group as the go-to guy because you have a mind of your own. And so they're always looking at you like, what do you think? Right? Because most average people, they need to latch on to someone strong. You understand? So your arrogance helps you through that. Your arrogance helps you combat all of the fucking opinions that are going to come your way. Shit, even the opinions of your woman. A lot of times, even in a relationship, excuse me, and this is why the vetting process is so important. This is why consistency is so important. But there are still times when your woman is going to have a certain feeling. She may have watched Oprah, or she may have listened to some stupid fucking podcast with a bunch of cackling bitches talking about, some boss diva shit, some boss girl power shit or whatever the fuck. And then she come at you and try to tell you some shit. Trust me, Initially, she's feeling a certain way because she just finished watching the podcast. But deep down inside, she wants you to be the man that she knows and loves. She wants you to be the man that she's actually used to. She wants you to be the man that she's confident in. She wants you to be the man that represents your masculine identity from a place of strength and reliance. And there are times when you need arrogance for that. You need arrogance to stand on your own too, and to say, no, this is who I am. And I'm not changing for nobody. And I know you do it that way, but over here we do it this way. And that's how we're going to fucking do it. And there are times when your woman is going to come at you and say some shit. There are times when you just starting to date a chick and she going to say some shit. And subconsciously, she's relying on you. She's relying on you to be that dude. You understand? She's relying on you to maintain your masculine identity in spite of. And that in spite of, that's where the arrogance comes in. And initially, the knee-jerk emotional reaction will be, this arrogant motherfucker. Right? But deep down, she's going to be happy. And in the long run, she's going to be happy that you maintained your identity and you never folded, you never bended, I don't know, bended? Is that correct right there? I don't know. You never folded and you never allowed yourself to be manipulated. You see what I'm saying? And you held on to your identity, your masculine identity. You held on to your power. You understand? It's very important. And so the third reason is that without firm boundaries, attraction turns to contempt. Whew, this is a heavy one. And we've kind of been talking about this a little bit, right? Joe Blast, let me see. Joe Blast says, Miles, you was right. I saw Sinners, great movie. And mistake number one, he listens to the woman. Facts. See, yo, there's game in Sinners. Make sure y'all go see that movie. Shout out to Joe Blast. What up, bro? Yes, sir. Nah, go check out that movie, Sinners. Yeah. Bent. Yeah, maybe bent was the word. Yeah. But the third one is without firm boundaries, attraction turns into contempt. And like I was saying, we've been talking about this a little bit, when we talk about the whole Shannon Sharp thing and, what's going on with a lot of these dudes who's fallen into these different situations with these females, with if you're super flexible, you become the weakest link. You understand? If you're super flexible, you become the weakest link. And when you are recognized as the weakest link, it starts to turn to contempt. The attraction starts to turn to contempt. And the reason why it turns to contempt is because when you are the weakest link, you become the one that jeopardizes the mission. You understand? And everybody who understands the mission, everybody who submits to the mission, submission, right? They know that is what's best for everyone involved. Now, when you become the weakest link, when you don't have firm boundaries, when you don't have a strong masculine identity, when you don't know who you are and you're willing to change at the drop of a dime for any reason, everybody's going to hate you, man. You're going to be hated. It's going to turn to contempt because now you messed up the mission. Everybody, we're on the heist. We supposed to split $10 million, but you over here, talking to the cops, right? You over here ratting out the cops because you scared to go into jail. Now, if you just believed in the plan and executed the plan and knew your position and knew your identity within the plan, we all could have executed the heist, got the money, and split 10 million. We would have been fine. But because of your weakness, because you allowed the fear of going to jail or whatever it was to influence you and to change your perspective, now you become the weakest link. So now everyone that knew you now begins to hate you. And it's the same thing dealing with a female. It's the same thing dealing with a female. Because she knows when you came to her first, you had a plan, you had a vision. Now all of a sudden shit is different. Now all of a sudden you're changing shit. I'm not attracted to you anymore because you're a different nigga. I'm not attracted to you anymore. You're someone else. And the fact that you did this bait and switch thing with your identity, the fact that you did this bait and switch thing with your perspective and everything about you. Now I'm not only not attracted to you, I'm beginning to hate you, because your flexibility shows weakness, and weakness means I'm unprotected. When a woman feels unprotected, whoever carries the function of her vulnerability, right, to be unprotected, she begins to hate them. She begins to despise them. You understand what I'm saying? And so without that arrogance, without that boldness, that audaciousness to do and be who you are, it turns you into the weakest link. And once you become the weakest link, you're hated. You understand? So it turns attraction without that arrogance to be who you are. Attraction turns into contempt very, very quickly. All right. So number 4 is women want to know, right? Women want to know and trust that as a man, you are comfortable with the responsibility of leading. And with that being said, she also wants to know that you're not seeking anyone's permission. Like I'm not asking anyone to be who I am. I am choosing it. You know, a lot of us, maybe if we haven't found our purpose yet, or we haven't found our gift, or we haven't developed, our talents, a lot of us feel like we need to ask for permission to be who we are. Right? That's not so. That's not so. You see, in life, everything has meaning and everything means nothing at all. The difference is what you choose. That's the difference. You understand? Everything is everything and everything is nothing. The only thing that makes anything mean anything is what we choose. Now, as a human race, as a society, as a civilization, there are things that we all agree upon, right? We all agree upon a certain meaning of certain things. And therefore it gives us the ability to, exchange goods and services. Like, for example, all of us believe that this is a plastic bottle of water, right? All of us, to some extent believe that this is a great bar of soap made by Miles Cunningham, right? All of us believe that, yes, this is a book with words that we can read. You get what I'm saying? All of us have that basic belief. But there are things beyond that where we have to have the courage to go ahead and give things meaning based on what we desire for our reality. Right? So we all agree that this is a book with words that are written and that can be read. But beyond that, Mr. Lucario decided to choose particular words and group them together to make it a collection of words and sentences that express a particular idea. Now, the average person might look at the title of this book and be like, oh, what the hell is that? That's some crazy stuff. What are you doing, bro? Why would you make a book like that? But Lucario had the arrogance to say, this is what I want to name this book. I want to write a book, and this is the idea that I want to put out into the world. And I don't care what anyone has to say about it. Right? And I'm not seeking permission. Like, Lucario didn't ask anybody permission to write this book. He made the choice to write this book and to name it what it's called. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with anything else, guys. We cannot seek permission. You can't even seek, cause we talking about, you got to have arrogance dealing with women. You can't even seek permission with a female. This is why cues and signals don't make no sense. You cannot seek permission to go approach a woman. You have to be audacious. You have to be arrogant. You have to go a little bit past assertive and get to it. You see, let me tell you something, man. Women need to know that you can get to it. Whether it's dicking her down or going to get resources, she needs to know that you can get to it. Now, I know a lot of a lot of cats from other parts of the YouTube streets or whatever might, y'all start talking about all like gold digger shit. But at the very basic level, guys, a woman needs to know that you can go get it. Oh, she needs to know that you can you can go get it, meaning you could go hit the back wall, and she knows that you can go get it, meaning that you could get that money. She knows that you can go get it to fulfill any goal that you may have, because she's putting her trust in you. Because I always try to take it to the fullest extent, meaning the family, right? She's putting her trust in you. She needs to know that you can go get it. She needs to know that you're not going to give up, and she needs to know that you are not asking permission. You sitting there asking permission. What do you look like? You ain't no man. You ain't no leader. She ain't some. That's not somebody that she can put her faith in and relax and submit to. It's not happening. It's not happening. So a woman, dealing with females and in life and see, I want to let y'all know that all these rules that I'm saying is not just for women. It's for anything in life, especially as a man with your masculine identity, right? We cannot always ask for permission as a man. Now, yeah, you growing up in your parents' house, yeah, you ask for permission. Make sure you ask for permission, because in that situation, the leader that's responsible for that home is your father, right? So you definitely ask for permission. But once you get out and start creating your own life, you can't ask for permission. You got to go after it, move towards it. You sitting there busy asking for permission, you missing the opportunities moving right past you. You see what I'm saying? So you have to have that arrogance to say, look, I'm not waiting for permission. I'm not waiting for anybody to agree with me. I'm going out here to get it. And I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna succeed, and I'm gonna, I'm a quote unquote get rich or die trying. You get what I'm saying? In so many words. And the fifth reason is the world's coming at you. That's why you got to be arrogant. The world is coming at you. Let me see. I think somebody just sent in something. Let me just check it real quick. The world is coming at you. All right. Millie Max just shout out to Millie Max. Shout out to Millie Max. Instead of music, he sent in $10. I guess for 2 free calls. He sent in $10 for 2 free calls. Thanks for the 10. We appreciate you, bro. Thanks for supporting the show. Guys, put a question in the chat. Put a Q in the chat if you have a question. You can also call in 919-647-9392. 919-647-9392. Also, it's Media Mondays. If you have anything, if you have Millie Max and music coming soon, shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you. All right. Looking forward to that. Because I want stuff to add to my playlist, man. I'll be rocking that playlist. Some of my favorite shit, King Dow, Phil 101. What's that dude? David Gray? No, Omar Gray. Millie Max, man, shit. AJ Leno with it. My man Cujo, K9 Cujo. Yo, yeah, I'll be rocking that playlist, man. This shit is heavy. I love it. So yeah, we really appreciate the music when y'all come through, bro, for real. But yeah, guys, 919-647-9392. But yeah, and the last reason number 5 is that the world is already against you, man. The world is coming at you. The world is coming at you. So while if you're not arrogant, if you don't have the courage to stand up, if you don't have the courage to sometimes go against the grain, to do what you got to do to get what you got to get done, ain't nobody going to do it for you. Not to mention, most people are not going to have the confidence that I'm talking about right now. Most people are not going to have the confidence or the arrogance that I'm talking about right now. And with that being said, most people are going to come at you trying to hold you back because they think that that's the way for them to succeed. Let me tell you something. People who don't understand confidence, arrogance, healthy arrogance, healthy conceit, right? Healthy love of self, being selfish. People who don't understand that type of confidence, they're going to come at you. Because people who don't understand confidence, they think that making other people fail is the only way that they can succeed. So you know, a lot of you love to talk about your haters and all this other shit. This is why you have haters, because the average person doesn't believe in themselves. And because they don't believe in themselves, they figure is damn near like they got to cheat. They figure they got to cheat to win. So they feel like they got to sabotage your shit. They feel like they got to hate on your shit in order for them to actually succeed, not realizing that there's really no such thing as competition. Because if you truly have confidence, if you truly have a masculine identity, if you truly know who you are and you realize how different you are than any other person on this planet, you realize that there's actually no competition. Once you realize that, all you do is focus on yourself and what you're doing and taking it to the next level at all times. That's all you're doing. And all your energy goes into that. And that's what makes you succeed. You understand? But the average person, they're like, oh, my God, other people are competing with me. Man, you know what? I'm never going to, they'll watch a video, but they won't leave a like. You know what I mean? Shit, little stupid shit like that. Or they'll talk bad about you to other people because they think that that's the only way they can succeed. And those are people who don't really understand it. They don't understand arrogance. They don't understand confidence, right? They don't understand these things. So your arrogance allows you to shine a light that will expose the darkness in most other people. You understand? And your arrogance is what's going to help you power through, because you got to have strength when it comes to that. Because those insecure, hating ass people, oof, they're gonna be at your neck. They're gonna be at your neck. They're gonna talk shit. They're gonna say different things to make you second guess your shit, make you second guess yourself, your purpose, make you second guess what you're wearing, what you like. Shit, they're gonna make you, it's people, it's a nigga out there that's about to bite into a piece of chicken right now, and he's feeling self-conscious because niggas like chicken, like black people like fried chicken, like, you know what I mean? There's a nigga about to bite into a piece of watermelon right now that's feeling self-conscious because he's worried about what people think. You get what I'm saying? So that's why you really have to be arrogant. You understand? It takes that extra push that goes beyond assertive, right? It takes that extra push that goes a little bit beyond just regular confidence. You gotta be arrogant to a certain extent. You have to believe that much in yourself and in your masculine identity to really like make shit happen, because ain't nobody gonna assist you. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. And ain't nobody gonna believe in yourself as much as you believe in you. You understand? Because nobody is looking at them. Nobody is gonna put you above themselves. Especially if you don't put you above yourself. And if we talk about dealing with women, a woman is looking for a man who puts himself above all else. That's what she's looking for. Because a man who puts himself above all else, that's the type of man that can get it. That's the type of man that could go and get it. That's the type of man that can succeed. That's the type of man that secures her survival. And that's what she's looking for the whole time. That's what she's looking for the whole time. All right. So let me see. Call in, guys. Like I said, if I don't get no calls, I don't get no motion, as the young people say, we out of here. And I already see a couple of calls. I mean, a couple of questions. We could go answer the questions. But if I don't hear from y'all, I'm out of here. I'm not sitting here rambling for nothing. I already gave you the 5 reasons. and that's it. And I don't see nobody sending in the 50 to promote no music. So it is what it is. It'll be a short show, and I'm okay with that. So let me see. The first question, we got a question from HQ. It says, how ever belittled yourself? Oh, I think he's saying, have you ever belittled yourself? Let me put it on the screen. My bad. He says, have you ever belittled yourself not to make others feel uncomfortable? I'll be honest. There was a time in my life where I didn't really belittle myself, but I'll say I kind of like chilled, or I pulled back a little bit. You see what I'm saying? But after a certain point, I mean, shit, when I was in my late 20s and in my 30s, I stopped doing shit like that. It's like it came to a point where I would actually enjoy being more of who I was being bold, being audacious, being arrogant, and letting all the people who really don't fuck with me stop fucking with me. So I know exactly what it is. You understand? But yeah, there was a time where when I was a people pleaser, when I was much younger, like in my teens and shit, 15 through, I'd say maybe 15 through 20. And those times in my life, I was a little bit of a people pleaser, or I worried about other people's comfortability around me and shit like that. But after a certain point in time, bro, it's like you got to start living a real life for yourself, right? You got to start realizing that you can't dim your light. You can't dim your light because other people's eyes need to adjust. Let their eyes adjust to your brightness. And if they need to leave the room, then get the fuck out the room. If my light is too bright for you, then please leave, because I'm not gonna shine any less bright just to make you happy. You understand? So yeah, I understand that question. All right. Another question we got is HQ. He also HQ also says, Miles, have you ever? Okay, same question. He was just fleshing it out a little bit. What? Hold on. Wait, slightly different. Hold on. Let me see. It says, Miles, have you ever belittled yourself to make others feel, not to make others feel uncomfortable with the life game knowledge you have and they don't? Yeah, it's basically the same question. Yeah. All right. So let me see. Jitaro says, do you think it is hard to attract women if you don't know your purpose? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I believe knowing your purpose helps. I believe knowing your purpose fine tunes the women that you attract. Meaning that it'll put the women in front of you that are more in tune with your masculine identity overall, but not necessarily. I think the bottom line is, when it comes to attractive women, the bottom line is to enjoy yourself. The bottom line is to be grateful and to appreciate life. Because I believe that when a person appreciates life, they do good, they smell good, they look good, they act good, they act like they're enjoying themselves, they smile more, they have a certain level of confidence. You understand? So attracting women is not about knowing your purpose. You could still be working on it, but as long as you're grateful, as long as you're living life a certain way, as long as you have a certain positive outlook on yourself and your life and who you are, I think you can attract anyone. I think you can attract any woman you want. You don't necessarily need to know your purpose. I just think you need to know gratitude. You need to know your masculine identity, and you need to continue to appreciate it, because too many of us, we try to wait till everything is perfect to be grateful. That's not the move. That's not the move. I challenge you to be grateful when everything is all fucked up. I challenge you to see the bright side when everything is all fucked up. That's when you really need gratitude, right? When everything is all fucked up, when things are not going your way. That's when you really need gratitude and appreciation. That's when you really need that arrogance and that belief in yourself. And let me explain why you need it. Because when things are not going your way, there are lessons that you're missing if you're not grateful. When there's a reason why things are not going your way. Life is showing you things. You understand? So you don't need to wait until you have your purpose. You don't need to wait until everything is good for you to be grateful. And as a matter of fact, gratitude is not even effective. It's not even that effective when things are going well. Gratitude is most effective when things are not going so well. That's when gratitude is really effective, because what happens is it helps you with your mindset to focus on the things you need to focus on so you can move closer to your goals. So you can figure out why things are not going your way, right? And then you can get to the things that you're trying to get to, your goals, your achievements, whatever you're trying to get to. You understand? So you don't attracting women. You can attract women as long as you're grateful, as long as you love yourself. And you don't have to have your purpose. Your purpose doesn't have to be in full swing at that point. You just got to be grateful for life. You got to be grateful for anything going on around you. All right. So O2. Yeah, O2 says, how to get the most out of the women on your roster. That sounds like a question you need to cancel. You need to cancel. You need to schedule a consultation. You need to schedule a consultation because I would need to understand your masculine identity. I would need to understand the women on your roster, how you met them, how long you've been dealing with them, how long you've been vetting them, how long they've been on the roster, period. Right. I need to understand your understanding of these women and what purpose they serve in your life. And then we could figure out how to get the most out of them. So, we need to schedule a consultation. I can't answer that question, or you can call in. There's two free calls. There's 2 free calls on the docket. All right. Let me see. Let me go back live. All right. Yeah, I can't just tell you how to get the most out of the women on your roster. You gotta know what it is. 239. You're on live with Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Yeah, this is Caleb. Donated $5 to the Cash App.
Caleb, what's going on with you? What's going on, bro? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just want to ask a quick question, man. So for the place I take the chicks when I go on dates, would it be better to do something I do more often or something that's like more oriented towards, us talking and being close to each other? For example, I like I talked about in the coaching call, I like going on walks and stuff.
Yeah.
But I also like getting coffee, right?
Right.
But I enjoy doing the other thing more.
Right.
And so what's your thoughts on that?
Well, you said so it's okay. First, we need to what is the goal? What is the goal of the date?
To build sexual attention. I want to hear more about and that's a good question because we're not going on dates for sex.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So the purpose of the date is to what?
The purpose of the date is it was kind of just to see where she's at. Because remember, I talked about this last time and it sounded like I was attached,
Okay. Is this chick that you mess with, how long you been talking to her? This chick that you're talking about taking out, how long you been talking to her or dealing with her?
Oh, no. I was talking about for the next time.
Oh, for the next time.
I go on, I'm on Tinder and stuff. So
okay. All right.
I usually set up dates to get some coffee.
Okay. So on these dates, you're trying to do what exactly again?
I'm trying to filter out the chick to see if it would be fine to take back.
Take back to the crib?
Yeah.
To do what?
To have sex.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, you have to keep in mind that unless you're in an environment where you can't hear each other speak, you can do that anywhere. You could do that at the coffee shop. You could do that on the walk. You could do that anywhere. You could do that in you drive, right?
Yeah, I drive.
Yeah, you could do that in your car. You could go for a drive. As long as you can hear each other talk, that's all you need. It doesn't have to be any place special. Now, if we're talking about logistics, don't take her for a fucking 1 hour drive away from you. Like, don't drive her a whole hour away from your house, obviously. But just make it make sense. Like, the point of view going out with the woman is to filter out the chicks that's trying to smash and the ones that's not. To filter out the chicks that are interested in you physically and romantically, right? And the ones that's not. So the point is not where you take her, because as long as she's with you, none of that shit matters. That's not the point. The point is not where you take her. The point is you. The point is you and what you're talking about and how you talking to her. Now, this is where what the topic of the show comes in. You got to have that arrogance, right? You got to have that boldness. This is where you really gonna filter out the chicks that are interested in the ones that are not. You got to have the arrogance and the boldness to talk a certain way, to bring up certain topics, to move closer to her, to look her in her eye, to do that thing and touch her chin, and use your finger with her, put your finger on her chin and bring it closer to you. Things like that. You got to be the one. You got to go get it. Because as soon as you put your hands on a woman's chin and start to move her closer to you, you're going to find out very quickly if she's interested in you physically or not. Trust me. You're going to find out. You understand?
Yeah, I did notice. And there's this chick I was on the date with. Okay, I guess I donated 10. Why not just tell a story real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was on the date with the chick. I was so I got to like because I'm on the Bad Boy membership. I don't want to reveal the program, but I got to the point where I was touching her.
Mm-hmm.
I went to kiss, and then she said, "No, I can't do that on the first date." So
Mm-hmm.
it's not, you can't expect anything, but I still enjoyed myself because it's something I like to do. So,
and so what happened after that? She said, "I can't do that on the first date."
Like.
She said, "I can't do that on the first date." Then what happened?
And then I pretty much, because what happened, she said at first, and then I flirted a little more, and then I went for it again, then I ended it. So it was about like 20 to 30 minutes in.
Perfect. And kudos to you for ending the fucking date early. because we ain't got time. We ain't got time to be playing with these bitches. Like seriously, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. If you like to be out on dates with women, making out, kissing, then that's what you should be doing, and you should be finding the women that are down for that. If you're with a woman and she's not down for that, it's time to end the date. That's it. No hard feelings, no problems. But I gotta go. Because this store doesn't have what I want. You see what I'm saying? This store doesn't have what I want. So why would I stay here and try to keep spending my money? You get what I mean? So kudos to you for doing that. But this is why we got to play the numbers game. This is why we got to go out there. This is why we got to meet more and more women. This is why we got to sometimes look, we got to schedule multiple dates in the same evening sometimes. Guys, I know you may look at it as hard work, but this is where time management, scheduling, logistics, and all the other things that come with having a quality life comes in. You understand? Because let me tell you something. A lot of guys will sit there and say, "Oh, look at what he talking about, scheduling multiple dates and approaching 25 women and all. That's crazy. Why you got to put so much work into fucking with chicks?" Right? But let me tell you something. I remember when, for example, Lucario and myself, we used to do music. I remember when we used to schedule, like we used to have a full day and all of it went into music. And you know what our friends and family would tell us? Yo, why are you putting so much time into the music? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like I remember days where we would get up, have meetings to discuss the plans for the next, album, and talk about dates and, things that we're doing for the next performance, this, that, and the third. Different songs we got to write. Oh yeah, Miles, you got to make beats for this song. You got to make beats for the mixtape. You got to do this. And then we got to go to the studio later. And then we got to mix the song. And then we got to go out and sell some CDs. And then we have to go to this open mic this evening. So we spend a whole day focused on the music. Right now, I'm just saying that as an example to say that whatever is important to you, you're going to make time for. So if you're trying to figure out how to get more bitches, you're trying to get a roster, you're trying to get whatever you're trying to get, you got to make time for it. Right. It's crazy how the guy with the 6-pack and all the shit, and he's drinking all the protein shakes and all that shit, and he's doing 2 a days, 3 a days. He's in the gym. Basically, for him, it's just going to work and going to the gym. Ain't nobody looking at him talking about, damn, man, why do you spend so much time working out, man? You get what I'm saying? Right. But if you want to make time to develop your skills with dealing with women, all of a sudden, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. No, I put time into whatever I want to develop my skills with. That's what I do. So as a man, that's what you have to do.
Funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was with my family and I left early because it was my birthday weekend, right? They were celebrating with me.
Mm-hmm.
I left early because I was like, okay, I go to sleep around this time and I got to go to the gym. And they was telling me, you got to stay. I said, nah, this is my program. That's what I do. So I just left.
Right.
And I had one of my cousins get mad. I'm like, yo, it's my birthday. And she's mad, but whatever. It's about me.
Exactly. Exactly. And again, you got to have that arrogance. You got to have that audacity, and you got to have that confidence to be who you are and make the decisions that you want to make in the face of the people that's going to give you their disapproval. You understand? That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing. So, look, everybody's willing to put in time for whatever they want to put in time for. But but when you tell them, hey, man, you got to play the numbers game and you got to go out and meet women, it's like, man, why I got to do that? That's crazy. Like, no, brother, you got to do it. You got to do it. I'm sorry. You got to do it. Just like anything else in your life, you got to put time in. You understand? And the beautiful part with women is that you can, when you're smart, when you become a little bit more smart, strategic, and you got a little bit more game about you, you learn how to blend it into your lifestyle. You understand? So the whole point is to learn how to incorporate approaching 25 chicks to the point where it seems seamless. So you're on your way to the gym, and on your way to the gym, you holler at two, right? Let's just say you want to holler at a couple in the gym, then maybe two more. And then on your way home from the gym, you see a couple, maybe two or three more. And then you go home, you take a shower, and then you maybe got to do some work. Maybe you got to do some, content. Maybe you got to do some homework, study. You study for a couple of hours, and then you be like, all right, shit, it's 9:30, and I know it's Thursday night, and I know shit is popping at the bar around the corner. You know what? Let me put on some cologne. Let me put on a nice clean shirt. Let me go around the corner and just see what's going on. Say hi to a couple of broads. Hey, how y'all doing? What up? How you doing? That's a nice shirt. Blah blah blah. Again, every time see, a lot of times when we say highlight 25 chicks a day or whatever, a lot of niggas think we're saying you got to have 25 successful, like you got to get 25 numbers and 25 bitches got to like you. Like, that's not what we're saying. Like, even if you just go out and meet 25 women. Hey, what's up? How you doing? What's your name? Oh, Alexis. Hey, Alexis. Nice to meet you. That counts. Because, again, it's a part of the process of you becoming socially strong, being able to speak, being able to approach, being able to meet people. You get what I'm saying? Everything don't got to be, oh, yeah, you go out to holler at chicks and you gotta come back to the crib with a whole goddamn orgy. That's not what it's about. but niggas be putting so much pressure on themselves. Like, yo, if I go talk to this girl, I gotta get her to marry me within the next 3 months. And it's like, why, bro? Why are you even thinking like that? Like, take it easy. You understand? But yeah, man, back to you and back to what you asked about originally. It is not about where you take the girl. It's about you and what you say, how you say it. So if the purpose of you spending time with these women is to find out the women who find you physically attractive, then what you need to focus on is, how can I express that that's my focus? How can I express that I want to show her that I'm interested in her physically, and I'm trying to find out if she's interested in me physically. You understand? So what things am I going to do? What things am I going to say? What kind of body language am I going to use? You understand? Am I going to whisper in her ear? Am I going to get close to her? You understand? Am I going to flirt? Am I going to, say some sexual shit in her ear? What am I going to do? Those are the real questions you got to ask yourself.
I'm going to definitely take notes on this. And this is why y'all got to get with Miles on his master class.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Masterclass tonight, 11 p.m., guys, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure y'all come through on the master class. All right, Caleb. Hey, thanks for calling in. Yeah. Thanks for supporting the show, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, go ahead.
I donated $5 for a free call.
Okay. All right. Cool. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right. So that means we got 3 free calls. But if the show ends and y'all miss out on a free call, man, and we just take the support. But Caleb, appreciate you, brother. You be safe out there. All right.
All right, peace. Appreciate y'all in the chat. Mine's everything. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you too. All right. Cool. So we got 3 free calls. Let me see if anybody else put a question in the chat. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of questions in the chat, guys. So call in 919-647-9392, 919-647-9392. Oh, can I review the 5 again? Yeah. So let me just the 5 reasons again real quick. So females are attracted to strength, right? So you got to be strong, right? That's right. So, and a part of that strength is your arrogance. Arrogance helps you to protect yourself against other people's opinions, other people coming at you. without an arrogance to your masculine identity, attraction turns into hate. Attraction turns into contempt. Because when you show yourself to be flexible, you become the weakest link. You need arrogance to make sure that you are not seeking permission. You don't, as a man with a masculine identity, you're not seeking permission. You're not seeking permission to go after what you're trying to go for in this life. Now, again, shout out to William Kahn earlier. As long as you're not breaking the law, as long as you're not hurting anyone, right? You should not be asking for permission. If you're going to go get it, just go get it. And then the last reason why you have to be arrogant is that the world is going to challenge you. You understand? The world is going to challenge you. And you got to be strong enough to go get it. You have to push past assertiveness sometimes. You have to push past all that shit. The challenges are coming at you. You understand? And you have to be strong. You have to be strong to be who you are. You have to be strong to be who you are. Because remember, it's basically you against the world. Remember, there's only one you. So you can look at that as a privileged position, or you can look at it as a position of weakness. It's up to you how you want to look at it. So do you believe that your identity is powerful, or do you believe that it's weak? Again, remember what I told y'all. Everything means nothing. Right? Everything basically, like, nothing has any meaning except for the meaning that we put to it. You understand? And so the meaning that we put to things is up to you. And at times you have to be arrogant to choose the meaning of certain things. Shit, you'll choose the meaning of something. And people will call you crazy. I'm sure they called the Wright brothers crazy, but now we taking flights. We have commercial airliners. I'm sure they called the guy that came up with the wheel, the caveman that came up with the wheel. I'm sure they call him crazy. You understand? They called I think they called Mark Zuckerberg a lame and a dweeb for coming up with Facebook. Or I don't know if he stole MySpace or whatever. I still got to see that movie. What was it called? Social Media, I think. But yeah, I still got to see that movie because he probably stole it. But yeah, what's another example? IBM fired the guy that created Apple. I forgot his name. I was gonna say Tim Cook, but that's the new guy. The guy that died. Why can't I remember his name right now? Anyway, the bottom line is, nothing has any meaning until we choose it and we make it so. So you have to have arrogance. You have to believe in shit because ain't nobody gonna believe in it for you. And you got to go get it because ain't nobody gonna get it for you. All right. Exactly. Let me see. Exactly. Octorati. He says Octorati. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. He says Blockbuster laughed at Netflix. Exactly. Steve Jobs, thank you, Dukalux. And the movie is called Social Network. But yeah, IBM fired Steve Jobs because they was using the whole DOS format where everything was in code, and he was like, nah, if you graphically create these windows, it's easier for people to navigate their hard drive and find access, write, and edit files and save files and copy paste files to different places in the computer. And it was like, what do you mean? Well, that's crazy. DOS is all we need. And as a matter of fact, you're fired. You see what I'm saying? And so it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how the world works. But if those brave pioneers didn't have the arrogance and the audacity and the boldness to hold fast to their masculine identity, where would we be? Where exactly would we be? But hey, guys, I'm not getting any calls. And like I said, I'm ready to wrap this shit up whenever y'all are. So it is what it is. Thank you guys for the guys that sent in the free calls. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for supporting the show. And yeah, we out of here. That has been Media Monday. That's your boy Miles Cunningham. Oh, at 3 p.m. we're going to be doing the Money Game Show on the Lucario Motivation channel. So make sure y'all come through for that. And tomorrow, Lucario is going, he should be going live with Steve. And make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Shout out to Steve the Dean and all that, man. Yeah, appreciate y'all. That has been Media Mondays, and it's your boy Miles Cunningham, and we are out of here. Hold on, let me get the outro video and shit. Let me get the outro video. And look, anybody who's been watching the NBA playoffs, it's really been a good playoff so far. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a great day. Be good to yourself. Be grateful. And remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.
Click the links below to get private one-on-one coaching sessions with Mr. Lucario or Miles Cunningham to step up your game. These coaching sessions are designed to help you with your specific needs in the dating game. So make sure you click the links below right now so that you can step up your game today.
I can take the dick off the table based upon my standard. You aren't going to get hold of this dick if you ain't being the woman I need you to be. You need to realize that you need to cook, clean. You got to understand that you're not the only woman. And if you can accept that, that's fine. That's just the beginning, because you got to work hard for me, because I work hard for me. So that means if you get with me, it's not going to be easy street, because I need to be satisfied, because it ain't no happy wife, happy life bullshit. It's happy Steve, happy Steve.
Being strong with self, understanding who you are, that is the biggest defense to bitch ass weak men.
And there's no excuses for the men not to be strong. But see, there's so many forces, and then so many men are embracing weakness.
I can't stand weak men. Like I don't like to talk to them. It's hard for me to talk to these losers. I've always been a winner at the winner's table.
You know, I believe it's a sin to impregnate a woman who can't raise a child, you know, or impregnate a woman who's not fit to be a mother. And I think we have a responsibility in what we see today in these weak ass little feminine boys.
I can't tell another man what to do, but I can't dress feminine. I can't wear nail polish. It's just something that I can't do. Why? Because if I'm walking down the street and somebody's having trouble with a flat tire, I want them to feel that they can come to me and ask me, hey man, could you help me out with this? Because those are the type of things that a man will help out with. So I need to look like a man so they can know where to come for help.
Yeah, it is such a thing as toxic masculinity in the minds of bitch ass motherfuckers.
Talk about masculinity, assertiveness, authenticity, transparency. How can a guy who's straight up and honest with what he does be toxic?
If the media can train you to think something bad about it, you hear the word and you want to instantly have a certain reaction. You stop thinking, you start feeling. And when people learn to think and feel and not think through their feelings, that's when they can evaluate a person holistically. And they can say, is this toxic masculinity, or did I just hear something I didn't like? And why did I not like it? And only let me go within myself to see why.
I don't never look at no motherfucker and say, oh, that's a toxic masculine motherfucker. I never ever had, I didn't even know, that was an invented concept from a weak motherfucker that was like, I'm just tired of this motherfucker trying to tell me what to do and bully you over me with this bullshit.
What's going to make you successful is just understanding who you are and getting your mind right and being happy with who you are. That is the thing that's going to really make you successful. Because after you get all the toys, after you get all these things going on, you've had sex with all the women you want to have sex with, you traveled all the places, you're still going to be you, and you're going to always come back to you.